Morning one and all. I am Sujata Dowdy, working as assistant professor in SGM College Karad. Today we will see linear programming problem, that is LPP, and the concept, some definitions or concepts related to LPP. So linear programming problem, over here our problem is linear. From the name itself we can get the concept as linear. What is programming? Programming means we can have some steps for solving this linear problem. So by using some formatted steps we can solve the linear problem, is nothing but linear programming problem. In some cases, see, linear programming problem has more constraints, or we have more constraints and less equations, or we may have the opposite case, that is we have more equations and less constraints. So if this follows, then we have number of equations which are more in number, and we cannot solve this by using our usual equation solving method in mathematics. So to solve these we have linear programming problem. So see, linear programming problem can be used in industry, where we have to maximize our profit with minimum loss. Okay, so we can maximize our profit with minimum loss, as well as we can maximize our profit with minimum number of things available with us. Okay, so that is nothing but linear programming problem. So we can formulate the problem and we can solve these by using methods of LPP. Okay, so that is if we have minimum stock, we want to have minimum stock with us of raw material, and from this raw material we want to prepare a finished product with minimum cost, and we get the profit as maximum profit. Okay, so in that case we can use LPP. Fine. So LPP, that is over here we have, in LPP we have, first is objective function, that is our main equation, in which we have the equation is in the form of z is equal to c1x1 plus c2x2 plus so on. Over here c1 c2 is nothing but cost related to, c1 is cost related to the item x1, c2 is the cost related to item x2. Okay, so over here we need to find the values of xi's. Fine, with the given constraints, that is we have, since we have minimum stock and the constraint is placed on this xi's. Okay, so see, I have one illustration over here. Suppose there are two types of foodstuffs, that is we have two types of foods. Okay, in the first food is F1 and second food is F2. Now suppose further that both these foodstuffs contains vitamins V1 and V2, that is we have first of all F1 as first food, F2 as second food. In the F1 I have vitamins as V1 and V2, and F2 has also these two vitamins only, V1 and V2. Okay, now see, F1 contains 50 grams of V1, so it is 50 grams of V1, and again 100 grams of V2. Okay, so in my food product F1 I have 50 grams of V1 and 100 grams of V2 is present over there, and in F2 I have 70 grams of V1 and with V2, that is vitamin V2 is of 80 grams. Okay, so this is variant, that is vitamins in both the foodstuffs are variant. Fine. Now a man need, so any person need 20 grams of V1 and 30 grams of V2. So any person, it needs 20 grams of V1 and 30 grams of V2. So, and we have also given, see, cost of F1. Cost of F1 is provided us to 25 paise and cost of F2 is 30 paise. So the F1 has cost 20 paise, no, 25 paise, and your F2 cost 30 paise. So this is the cost which is provided by the manufacturer. Okay, now how many units of F1 and F2 should the man take so that the cost is minimum? That is our problem. That is any person, if he needs 20 grams of V1 and 30 grams of V2, now how many quantity or how many parts of F1 and F2 he take or she take, so that the cost is minimum. Okay, so that is my problem. So these types of problems, over here the problem is very small or simple because I have only two foodstuffs, F1 and F2. But in our actual problem we have n foodstuffs. So out of these n foodstuffs I need to take some part of these foodstuffs. So that is my main problem. Okay. So the general LPP, from this we can have the general LPP or general linear programming problem. The formulation of this general LPP with n decision variables and m constraints. Over here n decision variables are present and I have m constraints. Constraint means the conditions placed on the variable. Okay, so the decision variables, just now I told you that the decision variables are x1, x2, xn in number. So the variable which we want to decide the value, that is the decision variables x1, x2, xn. So our problem, that is z. Over here z is the value, z is nothing but the equation which is called as objective function. And this objective function, according to our need, we want to minimize or maximize the value of z. That is, we need to optimize the value of z. We can write this as c1x1 plus c2x2 plus so on up to plus cn xn. This is my objective function and we need to optimize this objective function. Now this objective function is subject to some constraints. Subject to some constraints, and these constraints can be written as a11 x1 plus a12 x2 plus so on up to plus a1 and xn. This value, that is this equation, may be less than or equal to, it may be equal to, or it may be greater than or equal to the value b1. That is my b1 is nothing but the source or resources which is present in my factory. Okay. So now the next equation over here is a21 x1 plus a22 x2 plus 1 up to plus a2n xn less than or equal to greater than or equal to b2. Over here the equation takes only one sign when we solve the LPP. That is, it may be less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. And the last equation, since it becomes am1 xm plus am2 x2 plus so on up to plus amn xn. This is less than or equal to greater than or equal to bn. So these are constraints. These constraints are m in number. I have m constraints. Okay, over here see m constraints, and I have n decision variable, that is x1, x2, xn are n in number. So this is my objective function. These are m constraints placed on this objective function, and one more non-negative restriction is there, that is our values which we find, that is decision variables. These decision variables are strictly greater than or equal to 0. That is the non-negative restriction placed on the decision variable. So this is my general LPP. I also write this with matrix form as, so we can have the matrix form of this LPP which we generally use in our problem solving is, so your Z is obvious optimization, so I can write over here optimize. Z is equal to summation of Cij xj. Over here, since your value, sorry, not Cij, it is only Cj, and j varying from 1 to, since you have n decision variables, I have summation j varying from 1 to n over here. And subject to constraint, I only write st over here, subject to constraint aij xj. Okay, summation of aij xj. This is again less than or equal to greater than or equal to bi. Over here bi is nothing but your I running from 1 to m and j varying from 1 to n. Okay, so I varying from 1 to m and j varying from 1 to n, and subject to constraint, the non-negative restriction placed on xj, that is xj is strictly greater than or equal to 0. This is your formulation of LPP. So this is my objective function, these are the constraints, m constraints, and this is non-negative restriction. Okay, so we can now actually formulate the problem. So I have one problem with me, and I have actually formulating, or I have given the example how to formulate the problem. Okay, so the problem is a firm can produce 3 types of clothes. So a firm which produce 3 types of clothes, say A, B and C. These are the 3 types of clothes. The 3 types of wools are required for it, say red, green and blue. That is, to produce the cloth of type ABC, we need 3 types of wools. Okay, so over here 1 unit length of type A cloth needs 2 yards of red wool and 3 yards of blue wool. So I have 3 types of wool. I write over here, see, red. So these are the colors of wools which I have: red, green and blue. Red, green, and the last will be blue. Okay. Now over here, to produce the type A cloth, it needs 2 yards of red wool. 2 yards. Fine. Then 3 yards of blue wool. 3 yards. Fine. Then and 2 yards of, okay, fine. So A cloth required only 2 wools. One is red wool which is of 2 yards and blue wool of 3 yards. Fine. Now 1 unit length of type B cloth needs 3 yards of red wool. 3 yards. Fine. Then it requires 2 yards of green wool and 2 yards of blue wool. So 2 yards. Over here this is upstream. Okay. So 2 yards of red and 2 yards of green and 2 yards of blue wool. Now the type C clothes needs 5 yards of green wool. 5 yards of green wool, and it requires 4 yards of blue wool. 5 yards and 4 yards. Okay. So my type C cloth doesn't need red wool. Okay. Now the constraint C. The firm has only a stock of 8 yards of red wool. That is, I have the red wool of stock. This is my stock and red wool is only 8 yards. Then the firm has 10 yards of green and 15 yards of blue wool. So 10 and 15. Okay. So these are the values which are present, or which yards of wool will be present in the firm. It is assumed the income obtained from 1 unit length of type A cloth of ₹3. Means if we produce 1 unit of type A cloth, it gives me 3 rupees per unit. Okay. Now type B cloth gives me 5 rupees and type C cloth gives me 4 rupees. Okay. Now I need to determine how the firm should use to available materials so as to maximize the income from the finished cloth. So with the help of these constraints, the constraints are placed, that is, I have only these many stocks with me, and I know that what is the cost if it is sold, then what is the cost I get. So with the help of this stock only, I need to produce the cloth which gives me maximum profit. That is the problem of firm. So let me consider over here x1, x2, x3 be the quantity in yards produced of cloth ABC. That is, I produce A cloth of x1 yards, B cloth of x2 yards and C cloth of x3 yards. Okay. Now fine, over here, so for red wool, since I have condition placed on red wool, green wool and blue wool, that is, this is less than or equal to 8. I have only the stock of 8 yards. So the equation must be it is less than or equal to 8. So I have the condition, or I have the first equation, that is constraint as 2x1 plus 3x2. Since C doesn't need red wool, the value of x3 is absent over here. So 2x1 plus 3x2. This value, since it is a red wool and red wool has only stock of 8 yards, I have less than or equal to 8. Okay. Now the next will be over here, since A cloth doesn't need green wool, hence the condition is only of 2x2, that is x1 is absent in second equation. So I have 2x2 plus 5x3, this is less than or equal to 10. This is related to your green wool. And blue wool, the equation which contains all the variables, that is 3 variables. So 3x1 plus 2x2 plus I have 4x3, this must be less than or equal to 15. The conditions are placed because I have only these many wool which is present with me. Okay, so these are my constraints, and so these are 3 constraints over here I have. Now what is my Z? Over here Z is to optimize my profit. So over here the Z has maximum Z. So maximum Z, this is equal to, now since the prices of A cloth, suppose I sold 1 unit of A cloth, I get 3 rupees. That means I have the equation as 3x1. Okay, so x1 is the wool which I produced of A. Then 5x2 plus 4x3. 5x2 plus 4x3. So this is my objective function, and over here objective function is maximize Z. Fine. And these are the subject to constraint conditions and non-negative restrictions, that is xj greater than or equal to 0, j must take value 1, 2, 3 only. Fine. So that is my LPP, that is linear programming problem related to my given conditions or constraint. Constraints are nothing but conditions placed on the resources or stock available with me. Fine. So this is the formulation of LPP. Okay. Now I have some definitions. See, because suppose this is my problem. Okay, that is maximize Z, 3x1 plus 5x2 plus 4x3 subject to these many constraints. So this is my problem, but since over here the equations, that is constraint, I need to solve. These all are less than or equal to, less than or equal to, and less than or equal to. That is, we cannot have the equal to sign, and if the sign is equal to, then only I can solve the equations very easily. So to solve this equation, I need to convert this constraint into equality form. So how to convert it? So these are the definitions with me. The first definition is slack variable. Slack variable. So slack variable means, see, over here I have something with less. In this equation I have something which is less with me. Okay, so to convert it to equality, I need to add something over here. So if we add some variable to form the equation into equality form, the added variables are called as slack variables. Okay, so the definition is a slack variable is added to the less side of the constraint, and hence the equation becomes, suppose this is my first constraint, then I have to add, say, S1. S1 is my slack variable. So S1 is equal to 8. So I can add some quantity so that my less than or equal to type converted to equality. In all the three, I need to add some slack variable. So that is my second equation. It becomes 2x2 plus 5x3 plus S2 is equal to 10. Getting the concept? So that means slack variables are variables which we add so that the less than type constraints are converted to equality type. Okay. Now surplus variable. Surplus means which we have already with extra values with me. Suppose I have one equation over here. Suppose I convert this third equation as greater than or equal to type. Okay. So over here I have some surplus values with me. that is greater than or equal to, and but I have less resources with me. Okay, so to convert this greater than or equal to type, we need to subtract some variable that is called as surplus variable, or it is also called as negative slack. It is also called as negative slack. So our third equation becomes now 3x1 plus 2x2 plus 4x3 minus s3 is equal to 15. Over here s3 is nothing but my surplus variable. Okay, not minus s3, only s3 is my surplus variable, and s1 and s2 are my slack variables. Okay, so this is nothing but surplus and slack variables. That is how we can convert our equation to our less than or equal to or greater than or equal to equation to equality type. Okay, so I have some general forms of LPP which we need while solving the problem. So general forms are canonical form and standard form. So canonical form, see, suppose this is my LPP which I have with me. Okay, now canonical form is the forms, or I may write the canonical form over here. My canonical form is in the form as maximize z summation of Cj xj, z heading from 1 to n, subject to constraint. I have the constraints as summation of aij xj. For canonical form, the constraint must be all are less than or equal to type. Okay, bi, and your xj is strictly greater than or equal to 0. So this is my canonical form. See, in our standard form, I have over here our z is optimized, that it is maybe maximize or it may be minimization type. Okay, and our constraint, that is this part, it may be less than or equal to or greater than or equal to type. But in canonical form, our objective function strictly is of maximization type, and our equation, that is constraints, these are strictly less than or equal to type. Okay, so suppose see this problem, if I convert it to canonical form, then how I form it? See, our problem is of maximization only. If it is minimization, then I multiply this objective function by -1. So I multiply this function by -1 so that it converted to maximization type. Okay, that is first step. Then second step, I check the constraint. First constraint is less than or equal to type, it's okay. So I will take it as it is in the canonical form. Second is also less than or equal to, I take as it is. Okay. Now in the third constraint, since the constraint is of greater than or equal to type, I need to convert it to less than or equal to type, and hence to convert it to less than or equal to type, we can have surplus variable. That is, we can subtract one variable from the third constraint so that it converted to canonical form. That is the simple procedure of converting the your general LPP to canonical form. Okay. And what about the standard form? In the standard form, I have the objective function is as it is, that is maximize z is equal to summation of Cj xj. So standard form. Okay, standard form. So maximization is as it is, subject to constraint. Only over here, instead of less than or equal to, I have equal to sign in the constraint part. Okay, so all the constraints are strictly now equal to type. So if the general LPP is written in this form, then we call this form as standard form. Okay, and we can solve our LPP in the standard form only, not in general or not in canonical form. We can convert all this form in standard form so that we can solve our problem. So that means to solve this problem, I need to convert all my constraint as equal to type. So to convert the problem into equal to type, obvious, I need to add surplus and slack variable over here. I can add over here slack variable, then slack variable and surplus variable over here. Okay, so that it is of equal to type. It is of equal to type. So that is my standard form. So if I want to write over here, see, I can write the standard form as, since my objective function is as it is, that is maximize z, it doesn't changes, it gives me this function only. Okay. Then subject to constraint, I have the first constraint as 2x1 plus 3x2. Since that is less than or equal to type, I need to add one slack variable, say plus s1. This is equal to 8. So this is my first constraint. Standard form. Okay. First constraint of standard form. 2x2 plus 5x3 plus s2 is equal to 10. Next will be 3x1 plus 2x2 plus 4x3. Since it is greater than or equal to, I need to subtract s3 is equal to 15. And over here now constraints or non-negative restrictions is xj, comma s1, s2 and s3. All are strictly greater than or equal to 0. That means your slack variable are also greater than or equal to 0. So that is my standard form. That is my standard form. Okay. Now if I convert it to canonical form, I simply see. I doesn't add over here s1, s2 since it is of less than or equal to type only, and in the canonical form I have less than or equal to type. Only the third constraint will be changed, and the third constraint is, see, if I multiply this by -1, I get greater than or equal to type as less than or equal to. That means I have 3x1 minus 2x2 minus 4x3 less than or equal to 15. Fine. And over here no need of adding slack or surplus variable. So xj greater than or equal to 0. That is my canonical form for the given problem. I may have one more problem. See, I have problem of this type. Suppose one more problem, we convert it to both the forms, that is canonical form as well as standard form. So I have the problem as minimize z, I write over here, suppose minimize z is equal to, my problem is 2x1 plus 3x2 plus 4x3. So this is subject to constraint. I have the constraints as x1 minus x2 minus 2x3. This is greater than or equal to -5. Next problem or next constraint will be 5x1 minus 7x2 minus 8x3. 8x3, this is less than or equal to 12. And the next constraint, which is in the modulus sign, that is mod of 12x1 minus 7x2 plus 3x3. This is less than or equal to 10. So these are the constraints which are placed on my objective function. So xj greater than or equal to 0, j varying from 1 to up to 3. This is non-negative restriction. Okay. Now I convert this to canonical form. To convert this problem to canonical form, I need to convert first objective function from minimization type to maximization type. So how I convert it? I can multiply only objective function to -1 so that it converted to, I can write over here now maximize z, not minus z, but it is of maximization z, minus 2x1 minus 3x2 minus 4x3. Subject to constraints, I have the constraint. See, over here my first constraint is greater than or equal to type, and in canonical form I convert it to less than or equal to type. Over here I have two methods. I may have, since our BI is negative, but to solve the LPP I need this BI strictly positive. So I may multiply this equation to -1 so that it is converted to less than or equal to type, or I may add the slack variable. In both the cases it is converted. So see, I have x1 minus, I multiply this by -1. So minus x1 plus x2 plus 2x3 less than or equal to 5. Second constraint will be less than or equal to type. So I will write the constraint as it is, minus 8x3 less than or equal to 12. Now in the next constraint it is of modulus type. So that means in the mod I have two equations over here. My first equation, see, over here I have two equations which are, I will write over here. See, my first equation is of type, or I can write this as 12x1 minus 7x2 plus 3x3 this is less than or equal to 10, as well as minus 12x1 plus 7x2 minus 3x3 less than or equal to 10. Since both the equations are less than or equal to 10, I write these equations over here so that it is converted to canonical form. Now let me convert it to standard form. In the standard form, our objective function is as it is. Only I need to convert this less than or equal to type to equality type. That means I add slack variable. So S1 is equal to 5. In second equation also I can add slack variable S2, this is equal to 12. In the third equation, this is my third equation. So third equation, 12x1 minus 7x2 plus 3x3, this is equal to, or no, plus S3, sorry, plus S3 is equal to 10. And the last equation is minus 12x1 plus 7x2 minus 3x3 plus S4 is equal to 10. Over here, the conditions are x1, x2, s3, s1, s2, s3, s4 all are strictly greater than or equal to 0. So this is my LPP in the standard form. Thank you.